to update you on this. So an update, this is kind of an introduction. So let me just say, welcome to the reading vlog. I'm just gonna tell you how I'm faring so far with this book. And I'm about 300 pages in. Let me tell you that I am loving this. Like, genuinely, I find this, A Court of Mist and Fury was good, but this action that's starting to brew and the little, find this way more engaging in the plot, whereas A Court of Mist and Fury was kind of introducing us to the new characters and their importance and their backstory and how they all kind of mingle with each other's lives. Let me just tell you what I'm loving about it, because there's many things. First, like, chapter or so, or the first part, I hated because obviously Feyre was at the spring court with Tamlin, and Lucien was kind of like, it's kind of weird though, I don't think you were under a spell and things like that, after the big like sacrifice that Feyre has to make at the end of A Court of Mist and Fury. So I was hating the first part of the book because obviously I don't care for Tamlin. I think he's complete trash, and she finally gets out of the spring court, and that's where the action really starts, and I find it really interesting insofar. I particularly am loving Cassian and Azriel in this book. I liked them in the first book, but it's really elevated in this book. They're kind of kind sides as opposed to their warrior sides are showing. Oh, I'm loving the suddenly like this new element of a mating bond between Lucien and Elaine. I feel so bad for Elaine at this moment. She just does not seem to be painted as lively as she was before in the first book, or when she was still in the mortal realm. The best part about this book so far, in my opinion, is the politics. I find it so interesting, and I normally hate politics. I like try to avoid it and ignore it in a lot of like, I try to ignore books that have a lot of political intrigue, but this is actually really interesting because you're actually taken on all of the war meetings, the transactions, the negotiations, and I find it really interesting, and it's really fun because there's a lot of manipulation. It's interesting to see how people have to tread on certain lines with their words, and honestly the prose in this is quite nice as compared to A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm finding this like literarily, if that's a word, like literarily nice, which is fun. I'm savoring this. Like, I'm taking such a long time reading each little like line, each little sentence. I'm not glazing over anything, even though I desperately want to know what happens next. I'm slowly making my way through it because I don't want this to end. I'm so excited. Like, if this ends, I honestly will cry. The actual like action and adventure portion is so interesting to me, so I will update you guys, but for now, see you later.
Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear?
I'm about to go to bed, as you can see, but I haven't been doing too well in documenting my time reading this, just because when I started this at the beginning of the week, I was very like sickly. I just felt really nauseous and sick, and all I wanted to do was read but not have any pressure to think about it too much. Now I just have so many thoughts, so these are gonna be really long discussion clips, I guess. To say a little bit more, I am chapter 46, page 441, and currently we are at Dawn Court, and it's the big meeting, and literally I have been waiting for this meeting since the second book, since last week basically, so it's not technically a long wait, but I was just really excited to see all these High Lords get together and finally figure out a plan, a war plan. I wanted to see who was on whose side and just get a glimpse into what the High Lords look like, and how their powers were described, because one of the things that I've enjoyed the most so far about this entire series, I was literally in the car just now and it was like sunset time. We were at the dawn court, but I saw how just pretty the clouds were and their fluffiness. Beginning when they were having their war conference, Feyre was describing how beautiful flying into the dawn court was, with the wisteria flowers just hanging on the balconies, and that's what it reminded me of, and I loved that description. So it's going interesting so far. I hate Baron, like I hate him with all my heart. Like he can die already. Like I will put the dagger in Eris's hand myself to kill him. Like Eris isn't a good choice, but I would rather hear him than Baron speak. I think I may have a crush on Azriel. I'm just gonna say Azriel more. I just think he's like so hot. To see Tamlin's name one more time, I will like shoot myself. I will shoot myself with Feyre. I absolutely hate him so much. He's so annoying. And at this time, I'm kind of questioning if he actually is against Hybern, because his anger towards Feyre just seems so just irrational at this point. The only problem with him obviously is he thinks that women are his property, and we don't stand that. I'm super excited, and like I said, I'm trying to salvage this. Like I don't want this to end. Like I truly can't express how much I don't want this to end. I'm loving the adventure, the spying, the manipulation, the betrayals right now. I'm enjoying this so far, and I will read more tonight and update you guys in the morning. So good night.
All on account of you, tearing my heart in two. Have you no conscience? How could you be so bold? Why have you grown so cold after the lies you told? No one now seems to be on the level. Are you lying, dog? Since I found that my angel was just the devil. Why do I love you?
Alright. Hello. It is, I think, 11:30. No, it's probably 12 by now. I also uploaded my mid-year book freakout tag. It's a bit late, but it's okay. And I just wanted to chat a bit about the book. I can't show you the book right now because it's what I'm using to prop up the camera, but we are in the midst of war, and honestly, not gonna lie, it's making me a tad bit nervous. First things first though, I think I missed the part where Nesta is suddenly in love, or at least intrigued by Cassian. Like, I swear a few pages back she hated him, not hated him, but just wanted nothing to do with him, wanted nothing to do with his kind, even though they're the same kind, and suddenly she's like yearning for him across the battlefield. I'm just so scared. I hope no one dies. Like, yeah, I just hope no one dies, but I'm sure they won't, right? That's exactly where I'm at now, and I'm going to read a little bit more. At this point, I'm like reading this 3 pages at a time. Like every day I'll just read 3, okay, not 3 pages, it's a bit dramatic, like 3 chapters, and that's it. Like I'll put it down. I can't, this can't end. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Recap real quick. Where are we? Let me just say, last night, let me just reenact how it was. Like, pretend I'm in bed right now. It was like, yeah. Literally, when I saw all the I know I said I hate Tamlin, right? Like he can go jump off a cliff. Oh my god, my cat is moving my camera. But when he came through with Baron and Draken's Legion, Miriam, freaking that queen that was trapped in some type of spell, the mortal queen, and they came through, it was like yes, because they were struggling. Like, even though Rhys got the Weaver and Feyre got what's his name, the Bone Carver and Bryaxis, they still weren't winning the war. They weren't doing anything, and I was just like, like, this is good. This is good, and I was so happy, basically. So that was one thing that I was like, yes, like, go off. Like, we can do this. We can win the war. Okay, we're 3 pages left. It's Rhysand's perspective, so let's do this. Alright, my dear 12 subscribers, we finished. I finally finished it, and sorry, it's a satisfying ending. There's no potential threats. I'm just speechless. Like, I don't know what to think. Did it? This was a thick book. Like, how many pages was this? $700 pages. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh my god. Alright. I'm not gonna say anything more tonight. I guess this is it for the reading vlog, guys. Good night, and I'll see you in the next one.